Welcome back to the Philippines Build a Nation Save. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are taking care of yourself. I hope you guys are enjoying the beginnings of the summer here. And we are going to get back into the save. So we are currently about halfway through the summer transfer window. We are on the 2nd of July, which means we've made quite a few moves so far. So at this moment of time, I'm going to update us on what we have done so far in the transfer window to help improve the team. But, and perhaps more importantly, in today's episode, we are coming back at this time because we are playing our first AFC Champions League 2 match. So in our first match of the season, very early on in the transfer window, we are playing the AFC Champions League 2 playoff against Viettel here, who are a team from the Vietnamese league. So this is the Champions League 2 playoff. This is for the right to play in the Champions League group stage. So these are the teams here who are looking to win their match and get into the group stage. So it is a one-match playoff. So as you guys can see down here, the winners will qualify for the group stage and the losers will qualify for the AFC Challenge League, which is kind of like the Europa Conference League. So the Champions League 2 is kind of like the Europa League. The Challenge League is like the Europa Conference League. So irregardless, we will be playing in some kind of Asian continental competition, but ideally we'll be playing in the AFC Champions League 2 this season. If we win, we do get 36K. Round appearance money is 80K. So no matter what, we'll also be making some pretty good money here. As well as the nice thing is we'll be playing at home, which helps with our ticket sales, and we'll get a little bit of television money as well. So that is the match we are going to be playing today. But as I mentioned earlier, we are in July, which means we have made a few exciting new signings. And we have made 3 new signings so far, but we do have more signings, hopefully, coming in this transfer window. But these are the 3 players we have signed, all of them Spanish, all of them coming from the Spanish lower leagues. The first player that I had originally found was this guy here, Carlos Javier Ramos, who I think is a really solid player. We're going to train him to play as a central midfielder, probably as an advanced playmaker. And I think he has some really nice attributes at just 19 years of age. He's solid. He's got a bit of potential, but more importantly, he is an upgrade at the position. And in general, I like his attributes. He's got good technical attributes with good dribbling, good first touch, good passing, good technique. Mental attributes are very solid across the board with good vision. Physical attributes are average for this level. It can definitely be worked on. Hopefully, as he gets older, these will continue to improve. But if we compare him to somebody we already have, for example, we can compare him to Shadide. We can see he's a lot better than Shadide, and Shadide was one of our better players last season. And he's super cheap, like £550 per week for a player of his level. It's good. He only wants to be a fringe player. So really excited to bring Carlos Javier Ramos back on board. So he was a player that actually came through our scouting. He plays for Unionistas here. And this just led me to look at some of the other teams in this league. And that led me to 2 other players who I'm really excited about. First, I'm going to show you guys from the second Elche squad here, Elche B, Sergio Carrasco. He is a really solid player here. Good pace, good tackling. I think he's going to be a really solid ball-winning midfielder. I think he's an upgrade from Kya Min-woo, who we had last season. So if we compare him here to Kya Min-woo, if I can find Kya Min-woo, here we go. You can see that he's a better player. I think he's a little bit better physically, much better mentally, and better technically overall. So Sergio Carrasco is a player who I think is going to be a nice upgrade for our team. But the player that I am most excited about is Pedro Arcarazo here. He comes in from Amoria Beta? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but again, same division here from one of the lower Spanish leagues. This guy is going to be the creme de la creme of the players we are bringing in. Last season, Matt Orr was the main man. I think Pedro Arcarazo here is going to be the new main man. He's got everything I'm looking for in a forward at this level. Excellent dribbling, finishing, and first touch. I really like the 3 combination of finishing, composure, and off the ball, which he has wonderfully. And I think most importantly, excellent physical player. Very well-rounded physically. The combination of good off the ball and good pace is going to help us out a lot. But the fact that he also has really good jumping reach, pretty good strength for this level, good acceleration, agility, all of that together is going to make him a really dangerous forward. He immediately comes in as the best player in our team, and he only wants 350 pounds per week, so he wasn't even expensive. This is a phenomenal player. If we look at his career stats, he's also performed well previously, 16 goals and 13 goal seasons, so he's shown that he has a pedigree at this level. A bit of a poor season last season. We'll be looking to turn that around. So those are our confirmed signings so far. However, we do have players we're looking to bring in now that it's July 2nd. That means we can go for some free contracts now, to free transfers because of end of contracts. And there are 3 players here who I'm currently looking at. The one I'm most excited about here is Carlos Carrion, a player who has just been released from Mendiola. He's a player we had throughout the Mendiola save, who I think is a really exciting player. 25 years old now, moving into the prime of his career, but just a really solid player overall. I mean, he's clearly better than anyone we've got. If we compare him to, why don't we compare him to Carlos Javier Ramos? I think Carlos Carrion is better in all departments. He's Filipino as well, which I think is great. And he's a player that we're already familiar with from the Mendiola save. So I'm really excited to bring him in. He would immediately come in and be a star player. After that, we have Genelson Correa here. He is an 18-year-old Brazilian who we're looking to sign on a free. We would probably look to play him at center back, but I really like him as a center back, even though his heading's not good. Good marking and tackling, which I like. Good jumping reach, good pace. So he's got the physicality we're looking for. He's fairly professional, so he should improve as well. My coaches seem to like him. Leading football league player, doesn't want a whole lot of money, works well within the team. He's a little bit fairly susceptible to injuries, but I think he's got everything we're kind of looking for at a center back. So really excited to bring him in. And then finally, I am really focused on improving our defense. John Ungguang was a player who last season played at Mendiola. So we are looking at signing kind of Mendiola's scraps here, but they're good scraps. You know, one team's garbage is another team's treasure. We're looking to bring that in. John Ungguang, the 26-year-old, is a really solid center back. Good heading, good marking, good tackling. We're looking at a very solid physical player as well. I think Ungguang here and Correa could be our starting center backs for this season, along with maybe William Gaucho. Correa could come in here, and he could combine with Javier Ramos and Carrasco. Carrasco up top. Those would be massive improvements for our United City side. So those are the updates as far as the squad composition and transfers are concerned. We're still working a lot of things, but I like what we're looking at so far. And with that in mind, we now have a Champions League 2 playoff to get into. So this is going to be the team. A lot of similarities to last season, but with a few new players. So Schwarzer, once again, he's our man in goal. Bugas, Clarinho, Gaucho, and Menzi in the back line. That is the back line we know and love from last season, so they'll be in there. But we got some changes in the midfield now. Ramos, Carrasco, and Amita. So we have Carrasco and Ramos coming in. So Kyamin drops, Al-Warafi drops. I've also dropped Al-Warafi. I probably would have started Al-Warafi, but he has been injured for most of the offseason. You can see here, he was out for 5 weeks. So given that he's been injured, I've got him on the bench. He will almost definitely come on, probably for one of these two here. But this will allow a chance for Ramos and Carrasco to shine. But De Bruyker out on the wits, and then Matt Orr and Arcaraz up top. I think that's a deadly pairing up top. It does drop Javier Galloso to the bench, but Matt Orr, our star player from last season, 33 goals in the league, 40 goals overall. Absolutely brilliant player, still a really solid player. Combining him with Arcarazzo, I think this is going to be a really, really solid front two. I like playing 2 forwards. I like a good center forward pairing. And I think these two are going to be absolutely brilliant. But all right, this is the team. That's the updates. This is the starting lineup. A huge, huge match today. Let's see if we can advance to the Champions League 2 group stages. And the first Champions League 2 continental match of the Philippines Build a Nation Save gets underway at home in the Philippines. Let's see if we can make the Champions League 2 group stages. It would definitely be good for our finances. And they will go along with the ball. First real highlight of the match here, but Clarinho winning it well. He finds Bugas. Bugas playing it forward. Amita out wide to De Bruyker. This is good stuff here. De Bruyker, get around the outside, get the cross in. And the cross is in, and the new signing, Pedro Arcarazzo, finds the back of the net, and we take a 1-0 lead. The new signing getting on the score sheet. I mean, this is great play right here. We switch the ball very nicely. De Bruyker gets on the end of it, puts in a great cross, and Arcarazzo scores. What a start! And they will go long off of the goal kick here. Can we win the first ball? We do. We can't win the second ball, though, so they will have the opportunity as they look to play it on the back. Be nice if we could set up our press here. We're in a good position to set up our press. Maybe force them along here. That's exactly what we look for. Now we win the ball, and we win the second ball. Perfect from Amita here, and we can move forward now. That's not a great ball over the top, but we're still in a good position. We've won it. Matt Orr scores. We take an early 2-0 lead. We're not even 15 minutes into the match. We have capitalized off of their mistake, and this is a perfect start to our continental ambitions. I mean, we have been absolutely dominant to start this match. I don't think they've even had a highlight yet. Bugas here playing it down the line to Orr. This is good stuff. Can we find Arcarazzo in the middle? He is open. We can't find him, but he still scores. What happened? We take the lead 3-0. What a start to this match. We've got 3 highlights and 3 goals. I don't really know what happened here. So Orr takes it down the left-hand side, and they won it. But it just deflects off of Ramos, and then Arcarazzo in a great position scores. We have this is their first highlight now. We're going to make a quick sub here though because of Carlos Javier Ramos. We'll stick on Awarafi. He's been injured most of the summer. I think if we're leading 3-0 though, this is the type of sub we can make. Awarafi doesn't change things a whole lot. But they have their first highlight now. I mean, a 3-0 lead. What a start to the season. We're down to 10 men here, but Clarinho into Bugas. No mistakes here, boys. We do not want to have any reason to be nervous here. We don't want them to get back into the game in any way. Let's just make sure we close out nicely. That's not a good pass. That is an injured pass right there. I'll go down the left-hand side, cut it back in. Actually, some decent play here. That is the side we need to be worried about there. On the left, they cut in. All right, everything's good. Everything is good. Clarinho sweeping up nicely here. And we can move forward again. Alvarofi. Now we go. Oh, I thought we would go wide there. But Arcarazzo here. 2 goals from Arcarazzo on his debut. Pretty happy with that so far. A dream debut for our new signing. Awarafi, it's a great ball into Orr. Did he shoot that? Was that the highlight? We have been completely and utterly dominant in this first half. We are winning every ball. We're winning every second ball. I'm so happy with how we're doing. This is exactly the type of progress I want to see this season. And we will get a corner. I feel like the new signings are gelling in nicely. Arcarazzo, of course, with the 2 goals, but Javier Ramos, in the time that he was on, getting an assist as well. Or to the back post. We can't win it. Awarafi back in here. Got a scramble. The highlights have been very odd. Looks like we are concluding the half with a corner kick to our opposition. Back post. That is not how we want to end the half. It would have been nice if we could have ended the half 3-0, but all right, things getting a little touchy at the end of the half here. Will that take us through to halftime now? I think that will. No, we have one more opportunity. Or do they have? No, we should clear that up. All right, Awarafi here. Interesting end to the half, potentially. It was a great header on their part. But Gaucho swinging it in to Orr. They might have a chance here. Bit of a long highlight. They'll take the ball forward. Goes through the middle. I don't like the way that this is looking. We don't want this to be 3-2. If it's 3-2, all of a sudden we are very nervous moving into the second half. Oh, well won. Bugas now can take it forward. Awarafi, that's the ball into Matt Orr. Find Arcarazzo. We didn't swing it in. I would have liked us to swing it in. Awarafi here. What a goal! Substitute. He's hit an absolute banger at the end of the half. What a finish! I think he's hit that on the half volley. So the ball goes in here. Bugas, he takes it. And on the rising bounce, what a finish! And that should take us. We have another chance. Just a flurry of chances at the end of the half here. What is happening? I mean, there's like 20 seconds left. Can we make it 5-1 at the end of the half? I mean, if that's the highlight, what is Football Manager doing here? All right, goes long. The highlight's still moving. I mean, we're over added time here. We're over injury time. We can end the half here if we really want to. The timekeeping in Football Manager is very odd sometimes. I will say that. De Bruyker here. Can we get the cross in? We can. Or at the back post. That was never really an opportunity. I feel like we didn't need to see that. But that should take us to halftime. We are at halftime. An absolutely brilliant first half. We've been utterly dominant. We're leading 4-1. We're going to tell the boys we're pleased. And we're going to move into the second half. We are 45 minutes away from the Champions League 2 group stages. And we are closing in on the hour mark with a corner. It's been a relatively quiet second half before, which I'm pretty happy about. But they will collect, and they will have the opportunity. They should go long, and we should win this, knowing Football Manager. Yeah, we're gonna win this. All right, let's go again. Clarinho into Bugas. Good play there. Awarafi can take his space. I don't mind him going down the line here. So he cuts in. I don't really like that ball. And it is a counter-attacking opportunity. Going down their right-hand side. That's a good ball. And it's over the bar. Moving towards the 70th minute now, as we look to play the ball over the top. Don't quite win it, but De Bruyker wins it there. Cleared again. We should win that one. Nice job, Menzi. And to De Bruyker. Carrasco. Awarafi. Awarafi shoot. What a finish! That might be the two best goals we have seen in this save from one player in a game. Awarafi's just hit a second banger. What a finish! All kinds of time in the middle there. No one stepping up to close him down. What a goal! 5-1. And a throw in here. Oh, that's not good. They're in. Ooh, what a goal. A poor play from us. A really good goal for them, but it is 5-2 now. I've used all my subs and the game's kind of broken up now, but we are moving towards the end of the match here. This should be the end of the match. This will be the end of the match highlight. 5-2 victory. If it stands like this, I think we'll be really, really happy with that. I mean, we are through to the Champions League 2 group stages in convincing fashion. Nothing really more I could have asked for. Oh, we have a trophy lift. Do the Champions League 2 playoffs end with the trophy lift? Is that what's going on here? Well, this is the first trophy lift for us in the entirety of this save, so we're going to watch it. I didn't know that a trophy lift ended here. Okay, well, United City lifts an ambiguous trophy, and the confetti rains that we at nighttime here. We don't even see stars in the sky. All right, well, a trophy lift in this episode. We finally won a trophy. I didn't even know that there was a trophy, but we finally won one. Let's go. And that is a very solid victory in the Champions League 2 playoffs. 5-2 victory. We have now advanced the Champions League 2 group stage. This is exactly what we want for the Build a Nation. This is how we progress in the Build a Nation save. This is going to be huge for us. It's going to give us a little bit more money. We're going to have more reputation. This is exactly what we're looking for. So a good win there. Javier Ramos is only out for 1 to 2 days. We get some extra money there and some extra money there. But, of course, our main man, Carrasco, 2 goals, 1 assist. Of course, we're going to give him the praise that he deserves. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. Well, of course, that victory does mean that we qualify for the Champions League 2 group stages. Again, that is big for what we're looking to achieve this season. Well, all right, we are halfway through the transfer window. And even though we've played this match, it feels weird for me, and I want to progress to build a nation save a little bit more quickly. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to progress to the beginning of the season now. So we're at the very beginning of the transfer window. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to play through preseason right now. And in this episode, I will go to the beginning of next season the beginning of this season, this upcoming season, and I'll do a full transfer window recap. I wasn't originally planning to do this, but I think for the purposes of progressing the save, let's do a full transfer window recap. So I'm going to play through the rest of the summer here, and I'll catch up with you guys at the beginning of the season. All right, some time has passed. We are on the 30th of July, 2026 now, and this is where we will end things. So I have a lot to tell you guys because a lot has happened. But the big thing is we have our Champions League 2 group stage matchup. And we have April 25, who are a team from North Korea. We have JDT, who are the best team in Malaysia. And we have Sydney FC from Australia. This is our Champions League 2 group stage teams. I'll go over it again in the next episode when we'll actually play some of these matches, but just so you guys are aware for the Champions League 2, for the group stage here, the top 2 teams in the group will qualify for the knockout rounds. If you win your match, you get 60K. If you draw your match, you get 12K. Participation money is 80K. So all of that will be really good for us, good for helping the finances of our club here. But this is our group. We're going against some tough teams. Honestly, we're probably going to be projected to finish in last place. Maybe third. I don't know actually how good April 25 are. We might be similar to them, but JDT and Sydney will definitely be the 2 favored teams to get out of this group. But in case you guys are wondering as well, we'll look at all the groups here. This is generally what all the groups look like, but I think Mendiola should be somewhere in here. Yep. So Mendiola are in Group B. They are going up against the Thai side, an Iranian side, a Bahrainian side, and then Mendiola. They will probably be the team that's favored to get out of this group. Maybe Fulad here will be the other team contending with Mendiola. But that is the Champions League 2 group stage. I will play, probably what I'll do is I'll play these first 2 matches in the next episode. So I'm not going to play the Champions League 2 group stage now. So I'll play these 2 in the next episode, and then I'll play through and then definitely come back for the end of the group stage. But that's what the Champions League 2 groups look like. But the last thing I need to update you all on before we sign off for today's episode is the transfer window updates. So last time I saw you all, we had signed 3 players, Ramos, Arcarazzo, and Carrasco. As you guys can see, we've signed quite a few other players since then. We did end up getting Ganilson Correa here, £140 per week. That is a great deal for a really solid player. We also got in Zhang Guang, 1.5K per week, a lot of money, but I do think he's worth it. He upgrades our team very nicely, as you saw earlier, and we did bring in Carlos Carrion as well. But we have made a couple of other signings who I am really excited about. First, another player who we've signed from Mendiola, who only played 1 match for Mendiola, and then went on loan to the K-League. So he's played in the K-League, a much superior division, and did really well there. But we have brought in Kyrgyzstani left back Mamaraliev here, and I think he is a really, really good fullback on attack. This is a guy I'm really looking forward to as a fullback on attack. One of the big things that I was looking for in the fullback on attack, so last season, Bugas, right-footed, playing on the left, but that meant he would cut in a lot. He would cut in from the left side. I want someone who's left-footed on that side, who's going to be able to put in more crosses, and I think Mamaraliev plays that very nicely. This is going to allow Bugas to move to the right-back position. But things that we're looking for, great stamina for this level, great pace for the acceleration for this level. This means that as far as a player that needs to get up and down the left side, he has the physical attributes to do that. Looking at someone who is a fullback on attack, for this level, that 8 dribbling is pretty nice, but more importantly, 11 crossing. So this means he's going to be able to put good crosses in, and just overall very solid mentally, physically, and technically. This is an absolutely fantastic player. He immediately comes in as a star player, one of the best players in our team. I think he really upgrades our defense. We've made a big effort to upgrade our defense in this transfer window. And with players like Correa, Ungguang, and Mareliev, I think we've done that very nicely. But the other player we've brought in is Oliver Bias, a player who we know from the Mendiola save, a player who was at Mendiola, who then left Mendiola on a free and is now coming back to the Philippines. He came in through Germany. I'm really excited to have Oliver Bias back. I think he's a very similar player to De Bruyker, and I think it'll be good because we had a lot of pressure on De Bruyker to perform as the only player who could play in the AMR position. We now have someone else who they can fight for that position. I think Bias is a very good player. I wish he was a little bit better physically, but if he was, he'd be on a better team. But good dribbling, good crossing, good technically, very solid player. He'll slot in very nicely into the team. But overall, those are our transfers so far. I don't have any other transfers in the waiting, and we're just about at the edge of our payroll here. So as far as that's concerned, I don't think we're going to bring in a whole lot of players now. For players out, I'll show you guys kind of the players we've got out here. Buffon here from last season, sent him out on loan to Army. And then we have a few other players who have left on a free. I have also, if you'll notice here, I've trimmed the squad a little bit. So if I go to agreed playing time, if you guys remember, we had all those youngsters before who were eating up a lot of the wage. We've gotten rid of a lot of them now. The reason for that is because now we had a transfer budget. I don't know if I showed you guys. We had like 60K in the transfer budget originally. I used that transfer budget to release players from their contracts so that we could open up the wage budget. Those players were never going to play for the club, so I thought it was best to release them. That way, they can probably do other things with their life than not play for United City. Hopefully make a little bit more money than the £55 per week. I mean, that's not even enough to make a living. They got to be doing other things with their life, really. But the only reason I wasn't able to get rid of these players is because we didn't have enough contract. I chose those other players too because it didn't cost quite as much in the transfer budget. But we still have a few players. Next season, we'll probably get rid of these players as well. And then our squad will be looking really, really good. But yeah, this is our squad so far. I do have a few players here on potentially that we could bring in here. Sarikbayev and Mishchenko. Mishchenko maybe is the one I might consider bringing in. I'm sort of on the fence with both of these players, given that our current wage budget. I'm less high on Sarikbayev here, so if we do bring in someone, I might bring in Mishchenko, but I might talk about it a little bit more later. I don't know. What do you guys think of Mishchenko here? I'm thinking about bringing him to be the fullback on defend. Do you guys think he's really good? Do you guys think he's a good upgrade? Let me know. He's the one that I'm thinking about. But otherwise, I mean, our team looks good. Arcarazo here, very solid player. Mamriliev. I mean, all of our new signings are just really good players. I think we've improved the squad very nicely. And going into the season, we are projected to finish in second place here, just behind Mendiola. I think last season we were like third or fourth, so we have improved the squad in comparison to the rest of the team. So yeah, we will see what happens. But all right, that is our summer transfer window. Big things happening in this episode, lots of new signings. We are in the Champions League 2 group stages, and in the next episode, I think we'll probably play the first 2 matches of the Champions League 2 group stage, where we'll take on April 25 and City FC. All right. Thank you all for watching. I hope you are doing well. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys are, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope you guys are enjoying the warm weather in the summer. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you're enjoying, is it winter time? No, I'm not really sure. It must be around winter time or something like that. But either way, hope you guys are enjoying your time. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.